I'm waiting here for you.
Hi, welcome back. Just doing some checks here, so just bear with me for 1 second. Twitch requires click here to grant permission. I have no idea what Twitch wanted me to do. No, set. Yeah, okay. Alright. How's everyone doing? Good? Alright. Don't mind me. I'm having my popcorn and whatnot. Yeah. Welcome back to another It's Sunday. Come draw with me. Let me just bring this up. You know, and everything else. As you can see, I did the inking, and everything else. So, but other than that, it's Sunday. The day before we go back. Well, some of us might be working today, but others, may be enjoying time, spending time with their family, having fun, and whatnot. But I thank you all for coming, or if you're watching this, if you're viewing this after the live, that's cool also. Like I said, let me just finish. I'm just getting some stuff together. Making sure that, yeah, all in all, we are good. All right, so like I said, I'm still setting up, but anyways, welcome. Let me get some music going, so you're not just sitting here listening to me. And we'll get started. Let's hit some hip hop. Let's see what we got.
Just say a prayer for my city. Just say a prayer for my city. Believe in God to kneel down with me. Say a prayer for my city. Say a prayer for my city. Say a prayer for my city.
Yeah. So, what's going on? How's everything doing? I hope everyone had a fun weekend, a fun last week. You were prosperous in your endeavors and accomplishing any task that you found challenging or maybe not challenging, and you were done and everything else. So, let's talk about who we are. Well, I'm one half of Simon & Simon Art. My wife, Arlie, is the other half. So, for those of you who are new here, whether you just coming in or you're going to watch this later on our YouTube channel. Let me just turn this off. Lower that. So, we are basically Simon & Simon Art. We started this art company about a year ago just to sell our art. My wife's a painter. She likes to paint animals, portraits, and scenery and stuff like that. Me, I'm a surfer designer and illustrator. I recently decided to go back into drawing during the pandemic, and little by little I've been going back to how my skills were, because I wasn't really drawing that much. But over time, I got back to where I was during college, and now I'm improved from there. And seeing as we are a couple, we wanted to do something that most couples do. So that's what we decided to do. Try this out. Try selling our stuff. See if we can also. We also want to get into galleries. I'm trying to push my wife's art more into galleries, since she's more of the portrait and animal portraits and scenery and abstract art and stuff like that. Whereas me, I'm more of illustration, but I'm gearing a lot of my illustration to martial arts, and maybe adding in a little bit of folklore into it. We are also having a sale. The sale ends, I was looking for the calendar, ends February 28th. We have 2 stores. We have an Etsy store, and then we have our own personal art store. With our own personal art store, you get 35% off when you use the coupon code Black History 2025. Of course, that sale ends Saturday at midnight. So once 12 o'clock Saturday hits at midnight, sale's over. We also are having a sale on our Etsy store, 35% off certain items in the store. So you can go over there and check it out. They're both under the same name, Simon and Simon Art. If you just type in Simon, SIMON, add another N, then SIMON Art. Just, type it into the World Wide Web. It'll come up. You'll see we have an Etsy store, and then we have our own private store. You can go there and check it out. My wife does sell some of her paintings. If you want to buy an actual copy of the painting. I don't know which one she wants to part with per se, but I do know that some of her artwork paintings she does have for sale. Since we have been getting a lot of questions from those who are NFT, who are with that NFT crowd, we do sell our artwork digitally. It's on our Etsy store, so you can go there if you're looking to buy our artwork digitally. Just go to our Etsy store. We have a nice category. If you're an NFT collector, just go right there and purchase. They're available for digital downloads. So, what's going on with Simon and Simon Art? Right now, really much nothing. We are, when we're not drawing, we are trying to learn how to grow our own vegetables. We've been dabbling with it for a couple of years with strawberries. Cucumbers have been very successful with us. We've also done some potatoes, which hasn't been successful, so I'm trying something new. I'm also researching that part. Excuse me, like I said, having my lunch. So we're researching that. We want to start growing stuff, so at least this way it's not so much on our pockets when we go to the produce section. So we'll let you know how that goes during the coming weeks. We may be making changes where we might be dropping our personal art store due to the fact that we are running it with another company. That's the one thing. When you're running our art store with another company and it's good that they're handling all the marketing, but when you're not really seeing sales and then you're paying someone to help you with this stuff, it's like, well, do we want to still keep paying? I mean, my mom, I'm thankful she bought some of our stuff and everything else, but it's really one of those things where we have to really discuss that. So we may just be switching over to Etsy, but we haven't decided that part yet. Or we might just do it on our own. But it's one of those things where we haven't discussed it yet, but we're looking to see what happens. Also, We're looking to see about trying to get more into art galleries. Like I said, we're trying to look into that. But other than that, you know, it is what it is. So everything is, like I said, a journey per se. So we're trying not to worry too much about what happens going forward, but we're taking our time. Just give me 1 second. I just want to I can probably do it from here. Sorry guys, I'm just give me 1 second. I'm just trying to set some stuff over here while I am talking with you guys, so I can just monitor some stuff real quick. Another thing is just give me 1 second. I'm just trying to there you go. Let me shut that off. Anyways, so that's that. So let's get on to what it is that I'm drawing. So right now I am, if you haven't been with, if you're just now joining us in this little art little thing I'm doing. I am actually doing a drawing. Hold on, I want to just change this up. Change the music a bit. A little something upbeat. So a lot of my illustrations now going forward, like I said earlier, are going to be martial arts themed, but we are going to I'm going to be drawing them based on what's going on in America. So a lot of my characters are going to be of African descent. They may be of other descents like Latino, Asian, Indian, whatnot. But a lot of it is basically what's going on today and how now that the country is dealing with them when it comes to people who don't look like them. Anansi Says Hello is one of those things. So Anansi the Spider is a folklore. Let me just bring this up so I can get this right. Is a West African folklore. Anansi the Spider is a West African folklore, right? I just want to bring this up. Associated with stories, wisdom, knowledge, and trickery. He's a trickster spider, but he's with wisdom and knowledge. I guess you can call him the first Spider-Man, if you want. And, you know, and he has been mentioned, if you ever watch Static Shock, there was a character, they showed him twice, where he basically got his powers from Anansi. And he would fight criminals and everything else. This, I decided to take a step further since I was inspired by that. I just wanted to show the step-by-step process first. So, Bring this up. So this is my pencil, like how I laid out everything. And then from there, I pretty much did my pencils, whatnot, had my details. And then I wanted to add the color in here. Let me just get rid of this detail part here. Oh, no. Which one are you? Ah, there. Just to show how I want to break down everything from the shading. So that what that means is that this dark blue here is pretty much going to be the darkest color for the shadow for the rocks and for the robes. And then, you know, I have the background doing the same thing. I also did it for this old house and whatnot. Originally, I wanted this to be an old church. Actually, it's still going to be an old church. But when you read what is going to be on this sign, you're going to be like, oh. Because first I thought, yeah, let me put the cross on top of there. But then I was like, wait a minute. These individuals wouldn't be in a church unless the cross was taken down or the church wasn't around anymore. So I decided to get rid of it and then just go with this route here. The same thing what I did with the for the ocean, basically saying this is going to be the light part, dark, then darkest. I have my clouds, the sun, and then I have the clouds up here. So I wanted to try this to see how it works because in the past I've always had issues when it comes to shading, and you know, I'm already drawing everything. Also, another thing is I wanted to put the characters in last once I had everything set up for my background. Even though everyone's saying that, but sometimes as I'm doing it, I realize, oh, I should have done this and this, so now I'm actually sticking with it. So, this is where we are here. I'm not going to ink out, do the inking for the clouds in the background. That I'm just going to, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to set that up in a brush style, so at least this way it's there. The only inking part I really did was for the water, and let me know where the water line is right there. So one thing I did want to work on is I wanted to add, oh, hi Megan, how's everything on your end? Are we having fun today? It's not. But what I wanted to do was, let's turn on the music, was show that just to go about this route, but I want to start adding some more stuff in here because I realized just for symbolism I wanted to add that. Also, I wanted to see if I can use this as a journal just to put it in. So the website I use for journals, I download, but I'll look at it. I'll take a look at it later. I wanted to put in to see if it'll work or not. If it does, that's great. If not, you know, I'll make some adjustments. But yeah. So let's go in and start by adding in some stuff. Like I said, the reason why I'm creating this illustration now, if you look at this illustration, right, I'm just going to put it here, right? I want everyone, if you're watching this, whether you're watching this live or you're watching this later, tell me what it is that you see when it comes to the clothing. What does some of the clothing remind you of? I'll wait. What does some of this clothing remind you of? if you know what it reminds you of just by looking at certain things, send me a comment and put it in the comments bottom. If you're watching this on YouTube, put it there. If it's Facebook, put it in the comments thing also. I don't know how TikTok works, so if you're able to watch this later, that's great. If you're watching this now and you're wondering and you're able to answer it, just let me know. Like I said, the reason why I'm creating this illustration is because of things that is going on today in this country. So let's get started by just adding some stuff. My special hanky? B Meaty 13, you think it's my special hanky? If that's what you think those things are, I hate to tell you, it's not. And if it is, you're hanging out with the wrong crowd. I have to say, popcorn is the best snack to have, especially when you're being creative and you just need something to snack on, you know. Listen to some good music. If you're trying to figure out what it is these clothing are, I'll give you a hint. This guy. So you know who I was drawing. I'm pretty sure someone's gonna probably send this later if they're part of that crew. They're like, you see what this guy did? But let's see. I think I'm gonna hide me for a second. Yeah, nobody needs to see me right now. But anyways, or maybe not. But anyways, I was gonna hide myself, but never mind. Let it be known No one. Let's get closer. A little bit bigger. Yeah, that's better. So I'm adding in some hats, right? Now, these hats are going to also be relevant to this illustration. Once you see, you're probably wondering why. Well, you'll see once I am finished, right? Because I have to I'll put the hats in, and then what I'll do is once I have them all set up and ready and have them saying what I want them to say, you'll understand. I'm only doing like about maybe 4 hats, and then from there, you know, we'll see what's going on. Now my process when it came to this was the fact that I had an idea, and the idea was, hey, let's create a illustration that has to deal with the genre horror, right? And a little bit of sci-fi, because I don't know where you would classify this particular night creature. I guess it'll be horror, because these creatures are, you know, pretty evil in a sense, even though some of them are good per se, you know, but all the ones I've seen have been pretty much evil. You know what I mean? So right now I'm just going to pencil in some areas and just, you know, work from there. You know? Alright, good. Let's see, let's turn off the blue. Alright, that looks good. Alright, let's pen in you guys. And see what we have. Alright. So right now I am just inking in this little hat here in these areas. You know, like I said, just putting in these little hats. I haven't decided if I want to add some additional clothing, but I may not. I may just keep this the way it is and then work from there. Right, 1 second. So I was hoping to also have this going on Instagram, but apparently there's been an issue. So just bear with me for one. Oh, all right, girl, got some moves. All right. One second. I just wanna fix this here. Alright, if you're watching me from Instagram, I fix it so that you guys can also watch me from here, seeing as the thing I have isn't showing it. So do it from there. Alright, so this is my illustration. Anansi has come to say hello. Like I said, Anansi is a West African folklore. He is known as the trickster spider, but he's also known as for wisdom and everything else. So I decided just to add this little feature to it. The characters, like I said, I'll add in once I finish up with the background. This is part of my, this is actually the second part to my series of drawings I'm doing that's called Grayscale with a Touch of Color. So what I'm doing is, what is Grayscale with a Touch of Color? Well, it is me doing designs in a grayscale, because I always operated in grayscale, because I am a color designer. I'm also a color separator to do engraving for printing. So I tend to work in grayscale to help when it comes to values and making sure that if you have a colorway that you want to print out, it can print out without having to adjust the tones for each colorway. Because if you do that, that's a lot of rollers, that's a lot of money, and it can become expensive. So you don't want that for a client. You want to make sure that the client could do everything they need to do with one set of rollers instead of buying a whole bunch of different rollers for an adjustment. It's not good. Just give me a second. It worked. Good. You're working. Perfect. So, excuse me. So right now I added in these hats here in various parts of my drawing. If you think you know what these hats are, leave a comment. Whether, like I said, whether you're watching this live, whether you're watching this later, leave a comment. Well, B Meaty, the reason why about that, I'm not sure if streaming it live, This Is America, if I'm going to get in trouble, because with Facebook, they already said because I'm using certain artists, I have to do it was this X and Y thing, but I'm using Epidemic Sound for like not mainstream artists, but these are like artists who put their music on to be used for YouTubers or those who stream it. So it's easier. So I don't want to get flagged for using music, and then next I have to pay royalties for using that type of music. You know what I'm saying? Alright, so let's just look at what we have here. We have our pencils. Now there are two detail. We have another pencil. Like I said, the back part is going to be the clouds and stuff. So that I'm gonna start working on now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put all this in one folder. Let me just move you guys here and say call this draft folder. So I know these are my drafts. Create a new folder and say this is my color folder. Alright. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add here. We're going to call this background clouds. Alright, so, and let me just open up Pinterest. Now, I want to ask everyone a question for all my fellow artists out there. How many of you use Pinterest? Now, I know with AI being oh, she looks cute. With AI being an issue and everything else, using artwork, like different types of artwork just for a reference has become an issue, because I saw something, it was Star Wars themed, and it had to be drawn by AI because of where the thumb was. There's no way your thumb is going to be on that side of your hand, dude. I meant to like, oh, did I save it or did I not save it? I probably did not save that image, but which is fine. But yeah, it would be fitting, but like I said, I don't want to get caught out there, and then next thing you know, I have to pay a royalty fee to Childish Gambino, which I probably won't be able to afford. and I like Childish Gambino. I also like him when he's doing his movies, and I'm happy to see that he's coming back in season 2 of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, which is on Amazon. That was the first season was awesome. But yeah, going back to Pinterest. Excuse me. I noticed that there's been a lot of videos where people have been upset with Pinterest because I guess you have a lot of AI artists have been coming on there, but I haven't seen it. My only problem with Pinterest I've seen is that a lot of ads have been popping up, especially when I'm looking for a reference. Now, a lot of my stuff has been about just looking at photographs. I usually look at photographs for, yes, the hats are going to be red and have a certain saying on it, and one of these sheets might also be red. And all the other sheets will be white. So, for my brothers and sisters out there who grew up in the South, you know who just lost this fight, and it's strung all over the landscape. Yeah, my mother grew up in South Carolina, so I've heard all the stories. Needless to say, the fact that you have people who want to go back to that makes me sick. Like, I had a cousin, well, from what my mother tells me, a family member. So, my grandmother grew up in South Carolina in a place called Utahville. Farmland, very rural, and everything else. And one of my family members, she was walking home, and you had a group of boys driving a pickup truck, saw her, turned around, and started chasing her down, and she basically ran into the forest near, I want to say near my mother's aunt's house, or near the family land. And because she knew the area, she knew where to hide and everything else. And, they were literally going there to, and whatnot. And, hearing these stories, that it sickened me to my stomach, because I'm like, like, what the hell? But the fact that you still have this going on even today, even after what happened at that one, I forgot the name of the town, but they found all these bodies behind the police station. And people are like, yo, what the hell is going on here? And now that, because the way the Justice Department is nowadays, we may have to wait for the next administration to come in to actually start doing an investigation. Because I'm pretty sure it's going to be swept underneath the rug. I think it was in either Alabama or Mississippi. It was in one of those two states. So I was like, yeah, this is going to be, they're going to do everything they can to sweep this underneath the rug, so that it doesn't come out to the light of day. But anyways, enough of that. I swear, I thought I saved that picture. Let me see. Did I put it under art tips? And I probably didn't. I don't know, if anyone uses Pinterest, does Pinterest have a area where it says, oh, this is what you looked at even though you didn't save it? Because there was something I looked at for clouds. Maybe it'll come up. And I thought I had saved that image, but if I didn't, that's fine, because I have an idea of how I wanted of how to go about it. Alright, so dark to light because the sun is there. Let's do this. Let's use you. Let's go to light. Let's see. What's so good to start you with? Let's start with 30% of black overall. and then move up from there. Now, the one thing I did was when I was sketching this out, and I'm mad that I didn't save that image from Pinterest, was the original image had a lot of clouds going up to a certain point. Then you had clouds in the background as the sun was rising. I like that image because, you know, I felt like it felt ominous, especially for who these characters were going to be. So I wanted to use that image, but of course, like I said, I thought I had saved it, and I did not. And now I'm kind of mad that I didn't save it. Also, like I said, I come from a printing background, so whenever we were printing something to be engraved or to be printed on fabric or paper, we always did a light to dark situation. The reason being we did light to dark is because that's how it should be done. Why would you print something light on top of something dark? You're not going to see it unless you're doing digitally. Then you not really have nothing to worry about. You just have to make sure that excuse me, that if it is going to be digital, that you didn't have something weird happening in the image. What I want to do here is make you 15%. Work from there. Now the 15%, you're probably saying, huh? This is where I want it to be the lightest. I'm not really worried too much about the shape of a cloud because this is going to be more, I mean, I'm going to add what I need to add to it, but yeah. But anyways, let's go back to Pinterest. So I saw videos where you have some artists complain about Pinterest isn't the way it is anymore because of AI. For me, I like it. Though my only drawback is I've been seeing a lot of ads where when I'm looking for references through photography and whatnot. But all in all, I've had pretty much good success with it. I don't know about anyone else, so if you are someone who's had issues with Pinterest in the past, please tell me what is your thoughts on it, and how have you been able to address it? You know, or have you been able to address it or not? Just give me 1 second, just thoughts on it, and how have you been able to address it? You know, or have you been able to address it or not? Yeah, so if or what programs do you use to get reference? Or do you use a program? Maybe you use magazines. I know magazines are good for a good reference. If it's a certain type of reference that you're looking for. I know if you think about it, back in the 90s, yes, I'm dating myself. Sometimes magazines and books is all you had for a reference. If you were lucky enough to be able to take photographs and you knew someone, maybe you had a nice, beautiful female friend, depending on the way she looked, and you could take references in different poses and use that. Or maybe you had different books, or maybe you had Playboy or Penthouse or whatnot. I know I went to school with someone who had magazines, and it was like, oh, okay. And he uses that for magazines. He was into the a lot of the BDSM, yeah. So at that point in time, I think it was before that you called it BDSM, but yeah, Adobe Stock Photos is also another thing you can use. If you have Adobe, like the majority of us have, you can actually download a preview of the image without having to buy it, which works. There's also Shutterstock, which is also good. So that's one thing you can use. Alright, fine, I'll stop talking. Shoot. I'm in the room by myself. So what I'm working on is a new illustration. I'm using Anansi the Spider. For those of us who watch Static Shock, we know who this person is. And I'm kind of incorporating it into this illustration based on what's going on. But so Dwayne, and if you can either text me or you can tell me what does this kind of look like to you. You can either text me or you can write it here. Don't care. But the name of the illustration is Anansi Has Come to Say Hello. Yeah, hold on, give me a second so that you can see it. And if you can see it on there, let me know. If you want me to adjust it, let me know. Hold on. So give you an idea of what it is I'm working on. So Dwayne, what do you see? If I'm looking at the whole illustration. Also to HRIB, thank you for joining. Tell me what you see when you look at this illustration. Yeah, Dow, there is a lot of dead people. Yep. Now, that is right, Dwayne, but let's move in a little bit to this point. Now tell me what it is that you see. Also, HRIB. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. You tell me what it is that you see. Yes, rocks in the foreground. What else you see? Yeah. Well, like I said, this is going to be a good one. Also, that's going to be a hat. The hat is red. From our TikTok viewers, HRIB, you let me know what it is that you saw. So, Daryl, Dwayne, what's going on in your neck of the woods? Nice. Hey, where's WonderCon is going to be at this year? Also, I think I might have found a place for me and Arlie to exhibit our work, but it might be more for Arlie. Shoot, I saw it on Instagram. I believe it's in Queens. I saved it, but I have to go back and look at it just to make sure that I have the date and time right. Like I said, it'll be more for Arlie. For me, I would have to do something outside of what I do just to like get an invitation. Let's change the music. All right. So I have the church, I have the clouds. Now let's work on the foreground part. So for those of you who are trying to understand what foreground, midground, and background, I'll explain it to you real quick. So the clouds and stuff back here is your background. The church and everything in here will be your foreground, and would be your mid ground, and then the characters that will sit on these two benches, these two rocks, will be your foreground. Well, the character here will be more of a foreground character. The character that will be here will be more of a mid-ground character, but I'm not going to introduce them because I'm still working out how I want them to look. For the lady who's going to sit here, I already have how she's going to look. I like how she's going to look. If you follow me on Instagram, you already saw what she's going to look like. The guy here, I'm not too sure because, you know, it's like I want them both to look like they just been in a battle. But at the same time, I don't want the guy to look like he came out unscathed and the girl looked like she didn't. So right now I'm just working on that, but I figured let me get the scene down first, so this way I can work on the next part. Let's see here. Where was I? For those of you who are watching live or who might be watching later, these Saturday drawings, maybe bi-weekly. I haven't decided if I wanted to do it every Sunday. If I do it every Sunday, it may be a problem, so it may be bi-weekly on a Sunday. Once it starts getting warmer, depending on how my summer hours is going to be with my job, it may be maybe a couple of hours right after I get off work, or it may not. So just bear with me because, like I said, I'm not going to be consistent with this live stream on Sundays, so I apologize, but it's just one of those things. Anyways, let's continue. Let's see. Okay, let's get the sign. Hey, Dwayne, you still there? Pumpkin number 2 decided to buy a Hello Kitty bag as a book bag. Dal, if you're still there, let Dwayne know about the Hello Kitty bag. So Dahlia decided she needs a Hello Kitty bag for high school. Now this bag, granted, I think I know why she bought, I'm 100% sure I understand why she bought the bag for her back, but it's like you wear it like a purse. I'm just worried that, you know, because I'm like, why are you wearing a Hello Kitty bag? But I don't understand girls nowadays, so I just leave it alone. Daryl, aren't you glad you have a boy? Yeah, I'm finding this out. But you know what's funny? I go to the supermarket, and this is for those folks at home. I go to the supermarket. So we have a Korean supermarket by us that I go to because of, let's just say, the way they package their meat. If you don't have a BJ's or Costco card, you can go to them. So, you know, I go there and whatnot, and they have Hello Kitty, I think it was toilet paper. As I walked past, and I'm like talking to her, I said, they have Hello Kitty toilet paper. And she started laughing. She goes, "You serious?" I said, "I'm serious, but I'm not gonna buy it. But I'm just letting you know they have Hello Kitty toilet paper." So yeah, I mean, the supermarket is great. I mean, I believe they're Korean, so and they're in Queens, so if you're looking for something, a spot to buy your food and stuff like that, and you live in Queens, they're in Douglaston, head over there. So, they're pretty good. No, I'm using Clip Studio. Dwayne. So I'm using Clip Studio to do my work, but I'm trying to figure out, just working out some details. Alright. So, I'm gonna take a break from drawing, but just to talk. There's a particular character. I call him a character because, you know, X, Y, and Z. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if he's from Ireland or Scotland. I apologize for those if you're watching it from there. But the only reason why I'm going to speak out about this is because he's not from the United States. And his attack on characters that are not white is starting to piss me off because this is the second time I've seen him do this. So, I forgot the first time I seen it, but the second time is when he's talking about Captain America, the new Captain America movie. Apparently he's never read the comic books because after Steve Rogers died, you had the Winter Soldier, he comes back, and then you had Sam Wilson. Now, Anthony Mackie had said a statement which sort of is the same thing that Chris Evans did, but Chris Evans didn't see any backlash from it, but Anthony Mackie did, and everyone's saying, well, Chris Evans said the same thing, but you didn't attack him, but why are you attacking him? About what Captain America represents. For this guy, you don't, I get the feeling you don't live in America. You're either Irish or Scottish. I apologize. I can't really tell the difference between the two. And I haven't heard the dialect enough to tell the difference between the two. And I'm not going to be one of those say, oh, I can tell the difference. No. This guy who is a four-eyed, bad-built person who I'm pretty sure never, well, maybe he got laid in his life, I don't know. But from what he's saying, and this is the second time I'm saying it, where it kind of pissed me off when he attacks black characters. Dude, you don't live in America. So, and everyone who's come after you basically saying you don't live in America, what the hell is your problem? Maybe you do, maybe you don't, but from what I've seen, I don't know, and they're not telling you your name. So, which is good because, quite frankly, if we told your name, you'd be getting airtime. The fact that this person isn't telling your name and not giving you airtime is 100% good because we don't want to give you airtime. All I know is that you're some white guy across the pond, wear glasses, and you complain about comic books, yet you don't understand comic books. Like, Civil War happened in the comic books, Steve Rogers died, Bucky Barnes was the third iteration of Captain America. I had to think because it was U.S. agent, and then he became, I forgot who his name was, whatever. And then you had Sam Wilson. Now, Sam Wilson, being African American and being Captain America, worked due to the fact that of the situation. Due to the fact that of the situation, you know, you're sitting here, you're complaining, you're whining and whatnot, and it's like, you live across the pond. You don't know what's going on in our country. And the fact that when we saw that, we were like, oh, yes. Now, Anthony Mackie had said something about a question about what does Captain, I could be wrong, what does Captain America represent? Chris Evans said one thing. Anthony Mackie said something that relates close to what Chris Evans said. Chris Evans didn't get any flack for it, but Anthony Mackie did. Now, if I'm saying your last name wrong, I apologize. But the fact of the matter is, it kind of sucks when, what the hell? It kind of sucks when we have this double standard. You know. Now, granted, I'm going on a nice date with my wife to see it on Tuesday. The next Captain America movie. We decided we're going to do it on Tuesday. Hopefully nothing happens because I work in Jersey. And, you know, driving back and it can happen. Hopefully nothing will happen. But for this person to say it, and all these people who, like I said, the two people who've seen it, never tell this person's name. I'm glad you're not giving this guy any airtime, but we need to know this person's name. And the fact that, like I said, I apologize. I don't know if he's Irish or Scottish. But the way he's coming at, you know, my people because of this, I have to attack this guy. I don't want to attack him, but dude, clearly you have a problem. I don't know what that problem is, but you need to see a priest or a psychologist to get over that problem. When comic books were first made, yes, the majority of the characters were geared to white or Caucasian. Of course, as things passed by, they started adding more diversity to it. And yes, that's what you're supposed to do. But for you, I don't know what your problem is, but you need to get over it. That's all I'm going to say. And then that's that. We're going to move back on to this illustration. No, I put on the thing. Alright folks, I didn't know what time it was. It's almost 3 o'clock. I told Arlie I was going to only do this for 2 hours. So I want to thank you for joining our live stream. And I hope that it was informative to you. You enjoyed it. And 2 weeks, we'll be here Sunday. I'm not sure what time, so that you can see more of this stuff. Anyways, thank you for joining, and I'll see you next time. Peace.